With recent news of lawmakers putting major ad fraud prevention companies like DoubleVerify and IAS under increased scrutiny, we felt like it was a good time to review the different types of ad fraud and the things you need to know as an advertiser. Lots of OTT companies claim they're completely ad-free because they use these major systems like DoubleVerify and IAS, and yet over $100 billion of ad fraud still happens every year. And since OTT ad fraud can be really complex, we're going to start with the basics today and just go over the most common types of ad fraud. If your OTT reporting says you got impressions on ESPN, that's where your ads aired, right? They aired on ESPN. No, we paid good money for that. Tell me that was ESPN. Not necessarily. Invalid traffic, or IVT, refers to impressions where the app or website is inaccurately labeled, making it appear as if your ad ran somewhere it didn't, and it happens far more than anyone wants to admit. If you're some offshoot streaming app that only focuses on horror movies that take place in the Upper Peninsula, you're probably not getting enough demand for your ad slots. Well, an easy way to increase that demand is do a little whoopsie, and all of a sudden your app is named Peacock in the bid stream and buyers are buying the heck out of all your ad slots. This just further stresses at looking more than just the app name of where your impressions run. If your OTT provider tells you you had 1 million impressions last month, that means all 1 million of those impressions actually ran, right? Right? No, please tell me they ran. No. Render rate is a metric we rarely, if ever, see on OTT reporting, and it's a metric that does just that. It tracks if your ad's actually fully rendered on screen. Providers often charge for impressions whether they render fully or not. So if this is a metric you're hearing for the first time, we strongly suggest you start writing an email to your OTT provider right about now. You ever sit back and just be in awe about how many devices are out there and how many different types there are? You don't? Well, all the cool kids are doing it. Right, Mom? Think about how many different models and model years there are for every phone, TV, tablet, computer. There's almost an endless amount. And if you're a company that wants to release an app or software that works on all these different device types, you might think you need an army of interns sitting in a room testing it on every single device known to man. Well, no. Companies like AWS have device farms that are servers that can basically emulate every single type of device there is, so companies can test their products en masse without the need of an army of interns. Sorry, interns. I detail all of that out because when it comes to device spoofing ad fraud, many buyers have this perception that it's incredibly complex or super easy to identify, so surely it isn't happening to them. So just remember that so that the next time you get offered a CPM that seems too good to be true, it probably is. Ad fraud in OTT is unfortunately extremely prevalent, and all the more reason you need to thoroughly vet your vendors. Ask them difficult questions and be prepared to hold them accountable so that you get in front of these things like ad fraud before you waste a ton of dollars. Fraud is something we're going to be talking about a lot here at Aduro. So stay tuned as we dive deeper and deeper into this murky world. And until next time, keep streaming with clarity, friends.